Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the program today, the first major manufacturer of drones is coming to northern Nevada, bringing 400 high-paying jobs. Larry Lambert joins us. He's the vice president of Ashima Devices. Plus, on the Power Pundit panel today, Sean Carey, Mike Bosma, and Fred Larkin. It's all coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers coverage of the United States House of Representatives is brought to you by the Nevada Trucking Association and Pro Group Management.
The doctors at Eye Care Associates specialize in surgical and medical treatments to maximize your vision results. They can change the way you look at the world.
LipiFlow is an exciting new technology used in the treatment of chronic dry eye disease.
The procedure is quick, usually about 12 minutes, virtually painless, and performed in their surgical suite. Don't let dry eyes interfere with your life.
We perform a comprehensive evaluation to determine whether or not you will benefit from LipiFlow.
Your sight is critical. Call Eye Care Associates for an appointment.
Your business deserves the absolute best in workers' compensation. You should know that not all workers' comp is equal. With Pro Group Management, your business is all that matters. What do you receive for your premium dollar? Professional risk management team, top-rated claim service, customer care team, website access to your full account? It's all in the numbers. You can upgrade your dollars and make them stretch farther and more efficiently. Call us today. You deserve the best. Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
What does the massive Tahoe Reno Industrial Center offer to Northern Nevada? Well, there's an incredible amount of oversized infrastructure in place, along with hundreds of sites to accommodate relocating or expanding businesses. The park includes IT ecosystems, call centers, data centers, e-commerce distribution, and there's defense system manufacturing, clean energy, there's renewables and recycling, and we're just getting started. The Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
Plan your adventure at TravelNevada.com.
Closed captioning of Nevada Newsmakers is brought to you by the Nevada Trucking Association. Trucking moves America forward. This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam
And
Shad.
back on Nevada Newsmakers, I want to read from a press release that was put out yesterday by the Economic Development Authority of Western Nevada. It's a California-based company known for its research in advanced autonomous aerial vehicles that we commonly refer to as drones, will announce its plans to relocate its headquarters, research, testing, and manufacturing to the Reno area, bringing more than 400 high-paying jobs to the area. And that company is Ashima Devices, and its vice president is Larry Lambert. Pleasure to have you on the program, sir.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You know, when people think of drones, they tend to think of big flying machines. The kind of vehicles that you manufacture are more like hockey pucks.
Right. If you think of a kind of a thick frisbee, it's more like that than it is a large winged unmanned vehicle that soars at 80,000 feet.
How high do yours soar normally?
Well, the normal application, they're probably going to operate about 100 feet at the most, 200 feet. They're not high-flying aircraft.
For those that watch the television series Babylon 5, they'll recall that ISN, the news division, had these similar-looking things that would go around, and they'd have 3 or 4 of them to cover news stories. Yours do that kind of work, except not in the private sector at this point in time, but for companies, or for groups rather, that are like the police, fire, government agencies. Give us an example of how these will be used by, say, a local police force.
First responders, both police and fire, need situational awareness. They're arriving.
Situational awareness. What's going on the ground?
What's going on around you? What don't I see? So if, for example, there was a situation where there had been a burglary at a business, and the entry had been made through the roof, an officer can toss one of these in the air and in a matter of seconds be looking down at the roof.
So now when you say toss in the air, you literally mean toss it in the air. How does it know where to go and what to see?
You literally toss it in the air. The officer is basically hands-free. He can control the vehicle from a touchpad on his arm, but you don't fly them the way you see most small UAVs being flown with twin sticks. These operate semi-autonomously, so there are pre-programmed behaviors, and then you can actually adjust it from that. So as the officer moves, if he wants to, the UAV, the small puck will move with him, so he can see ahead as he's going around a corner. He can send it ahead. So, it reduces a lot of dangerous situations.
Well, and for example, what about somebody who may have a gun with the place you're going in? How would this benefit?
Well, you mean the officer, the idea is we take the officer away from that immediate confrontation. He gets to see what's happening before he's right on it. He's able to react and have a little extra time to make decisions, because one of the big problems in a lot of police incidents, shoot don't shoot situations, is that the officer must react immediately. This in some cases is going to put the officer back a little bit and give them time to evaluate. And it also, would-be criminals are going to know they're being videoed.
Okay, now in firefighting, a little bit different application, because you have different sensors within that puck, that frisbee type vehicle.
Right. We've developed and patented acoustic sensors that array on the outside of the vehicle that allow it to fly within a building, a smoke-filled building, and acoustically map what it sees. So if you think of a bat flying through a building, it doesn't have to see anything with its eyes. It navigates acoustically. This does the very same thing. So if there's somebody down, you'll see that image on the screen, even though you don't see a picture.
So, I mean, a tremendous boon to firefighters in terms of safety, observation, and everything else.
Right.
Why did you pick Reno, Nevada? There's more than 6 testing sites in the state of Nevada and other sites around the country. Why Reno?
To be honest with you, Reno's the friendliest place that we had been. We immediately began to look at Reno around the first of the year. We engaged UNR, University of Nevada at Reno, and their engineering department. Very opening, very welcoming to us. We signed non-disclosure agreements, and we've got an employee co-located at UNR right now to try and work with the engineering program, their drone program, their unmanned program. We also found the community just a wonderful place to be.
Community college, you've got involved there as well?
We're also involved in both Northern and Southern Nevada community colleges and advising on curriculum matters.
Now, as far as the governor and EDON, the Economic Development Authority, how are they to work with?
Perfect. I mean, if it wasn't for EDON, we wouldn't be here. The governor's office opened the doors. They facilitated anything we needed to have facilitated. They acted as middlemen. Whenever we had a question, they got us to the right person. We got quick answers. Whenever we've had a problem, they facilitated a solution, which included working with the FAA, which included working with local authorities. They've been fantastic.
All right, let's take a break. More with Larry Lamb, but very exciting news about, this is really the first major company that's coming to the Silver State to operate this drone program.
First UAV company, right?
All right, we'll be right back.
To contact Nevada Newsmakers, call 775-857-2244 or go to NevadaNewsmakers.com.
The Tamarack Junction is South Reno's hotspot for food, fun, and friends. Play the hottest slots and video games. Join the Conductors Club and earn comps and free play. Meet your friends at Sully Sports Bar and feast on juicy burgers, wings, big beers, and all your favorite cocktails. Download the Tamarack Junction mobile app for exclusive food and gaming offers right from your phone. The Tamarack Junction, where friends meet in South Reno, just north of the Summit Mall on South Virginia.
All systems check. All right, Sam, let's go check out some D&D roof.
Hey, Ken, from up here, you can really tell the difference a quality D&D roof makes.
You're right, Sam. With our experience, knowledge, and staff, nothing compares to a D&D roof.
Hey, look down there. It's our D&D roofing crew.
I'll bank the plane so you can get a closer look. Sam! You watch your company's bottom line, and I'll cover the top of it.
How do you shed some light on a better economy? Start with growth inspired by Valley Electric Association. We're a member-owned power company that puts Nevada first, and we're doing big things, like providing prosperity by securing renewable energy projects. For Nevada, that means more jobs and more opportunities, all for a strong statewide economy. In other words, together, we're doing powerful things. Visit us at vea.coop to learn more.
Nearly 200,000 Nevadans work in retail businesses, supporting families and the community. Nevada's retail businesses generated over $2 billion in sales tax revenue in 1 year, including nearly $700 million to help our schools. Shop around and see all that Nevada's retailers offer our state.
We're the Retail Association of Nevada, representing thousands of Nevada businesses.
Businesses that work for Nevada.
Closed captioning of Nevada Newsmakers is brought to you by the Nevada Trucking Association. Trucking moves America forward. And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Larry Lambert, Vice President of Ashima Devices. They're moving to northern Nevada, bringing 400 high-paying jobs to the area as part of the drone testing program. There are lots of other applications that we can talk about, but one of the things I wanted to talk about as far as fire and police is that you lease the equipment, if the companies want to lease it, at a remarkably low cost. Explain how that works.
Right. Part of our philosophy, I mean, when you look at our UAV as opposed to others, there's no exposed blades. It actually runs on 6 ducted fan engines, 6 little electrically powered jet engines. It's finger safe. A dog could run around with it in its mouth like a Frisbee without hurting the dog or the machine. It's that kind of robustness. Everything's internal. And one of the things that we wanted to do was come up with a safe and affordable way for first responders to use this sort of situational awareness platform.
Now, you kind of priced it in a way that every police officer with a patrol car can actually have one.
$299 a month.
$299. I can afford that.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what I'd use it for, but I can afford that.
It's right. It's designed to be affordable. It's designed. We want to see them being used. We don't want to see them sitting in a station on a shelf, waiting for something to happen, and then they drive it out. We want to see as many people as possible have these vehicles, and so we had to price it in a way that made it affordable.
And one of the problems that we have in every town in this country is with all the budget cuts over the last few years, we've lost lots of officers and firefighters. This would be a way of getting increased manpower, but at a far lower cost.
It's a force multiplier. It has a lot of the advantages of a police helicopter without a lot of the expense items involved. It doesn't replace a police helicopter, but it gives you a lot of those capabilities for very, very little money.
One of the things that I found interesting in talking with you before we started taping the program was that this is not available yet for commercial use. Will the FAA program allow you to qualify this for commercial use in the near future?
We hope so. The law is catching up with technology, and this is just one of a number of situations where that's happening around the world. We can fly these and sell these for commercial purposes anywhere in the world except the U.S.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy, yeah.
So, all right, so talk about some of the industrial applications.
We're working with ship owners in Norway and power companies in Norway. Norway is one of our our shopping window for Europe, and a bunch of industrial applications to do inspections of gas containment, vessels on ships that transport natural gas, to check the metallurgical integrity of those tanks, the metallurgical integrity of North Sea oil platforms.
Explain how they're doing
bridges.
Explain how they were doing this prior to your invention.
Well, a guy goes down into the hold and has a hammer and beats on it and tries to beat off rust and see what's underneath.
In some of the world's most dangerous places, like the North Sea.
in a very, very dangerous place, and inside these ships, it's very dangerous. The containments are dangerous. These units will fly through the toxic, inert atmosphere they put in them. Normally, today they have to pump all that out, but our units will fly in any sort of caustic environment. They're completely anti-corrosive.
Okay, so how long do you think it's going to take the FAA to figure out that, if it's working fine everywhere else, it can work fine in the U.S.? Because that will just so dramatically open up the market for you.
I would hope within 12 months we'll see the FAA make some sort of determination, because the commercial applications, commercial users are bonded. I mean, they're insured, they maintain their equipment, they train their people. It's really the safest environment for these UAVs. In the same way it would be with a police department or a fire department. If they're used professionally within rules and guidelines, and they're not anything to be feared. In fact, they're something to be welcomed.
Well, and one of the concerns that was raised by the FAA is, of drones crashing either into each other or into the ground. It sounds like your particular version is so small that it would not cause damage if that were to occur.
Yeah, ours weigh less. The bigger unit weighs less than 5 pounds, and the smaller unit that'll be available next year will weigh about half that. So if it falls from the sky, it's going to fall from maybe 30 feet, and it's not that much weight. The FAA, when they're thinking of these things, they're thinking of the big Predator drones and the Global Hawks and these things that are carrying thousands of gallons of fuel, and they weigh 2 tons. Ours is a different breed of cat completely.
And you're not going to need to build an industrial building. You can basically do all your manufacturing in a warehouse, correct?
Yeah, or A-space. Actually, yeah, we can do it in office space, because it's just assembling small parts into small little aircraft.
Do you think Nevadans understand how big this industry is going to be for Nevada in the next couple of years?
There are a few that do that we've talked to. There's some visionary people that do. I think that as it grows and it sort of manifests itself, Nevada is going to be very happy they made these decisions, because it's going to bring jobs, and it's going to help the schools, and it's going to help the entire infrastructure grow and prosper.
We are awful glad to have you here. Thank you so much for your investment in our state and in our area, and best of luck, and come back and keep us updated, will you?
Thanks, Sam.
All right,
Appreciate
we'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this timeout.
Hi, my name's Marilyn Miner, and I'm sure you'd agree that Nevada's a very special place to live. I was born here, and my husband and I have raised our family here. I feel it's a privilege to live and work in the Truckee Meadows. I especially enjoy helping my clients reach their real estate goals. Sometimes the smallest details provide the greatest satisfaction. I'd be complimented to talk to you about your next move.
Call Marilyn Miner at Dixon Realty, 742-1280, or log on to marilynminer.com.
If you've been in a crash, you need a lawyer you can trust. Someone who knows the law and who can fight for the best possible settlement.
Go lightly in Vanna, 222-3333.
There's never been a better time to switch to a UVerse bundle. That's because now you get one of these 3 devices for free. With AT&T, you call the shots. Get a great bundle, then choose your new device. Now that's a win-win.
Call AT&T and choose the Samsung 32-inch TV to watch your favorite shows and movies. If you like gaming, choose the Xbox 360 with 3 months of Xbox Live Gold. Or pick the Samsung Galaxy Tab 3 for internet in the palm of your hand.
Get a UVerse high-speed internet bundle, and you'll get the speed you need at a price you'll love. With our Wi-Fi gateway, you can connect all your Wi-Fi devices and save on mobile data usage at home.
Call AT&T and choose from a variety of bundles like internet and TV for $59 per month. And get your choice of a Samsung 32-inch TV, Xbox 360, or Samsung Galaxy Tab 3 free.
Just call one of our experts today. Go ahead, call the shots. Get a great bundle, then choose your free device. With AT&T, it's whatever works for you.
Quality Motors provides the best hassle-free used vehicle buying experience in the Reno marketplace. We're a family-oriented dealership focused on giving you the best deals and customer service in town. Visit us at one of our 2 convenient locations for quick approvals and a satisfaction guarantee.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we have a great PowerPoint panel as always. Fred Locken is here, professor of political science at Truckee Meadows Community College. Mike Bosma is a CPA and host of the Basma on Business radio show on News Talk 780 KKOH. And Sean Carey is political commentator. Pleasure to have you all here. So the announcement that, finally the public announcement that this major drone company is setting up shop instead at Reno Stead Airport is pretty exciting news. Your thoughts, Fred?
Well, it's incredibly great news. And one of the other fascinating aspects is in a separate grant, TMCC will be working to help define the rules for drones. And so this opportunity for this manufacturing plant is huge. Great opportunity for our campus, but for the Valley. But it will feed into other activities related to UAV. So.
Well, another thing that's interesting is that currently they get all their lithium batteries from China. And it would be so nice if Tesla would have come through, then they could purchase the lithium batteries right here. But what's interesting was they don't need an industrial plant. They just need a place where they can manufacture because they get the parts from elsewhere.
Well, and most manufacturing companies, Sam, are more assemblers rather than manufacturers. That's really how manufacturing is done worldwide now. People make components, and they're very good at making component, then it's assembled somewhere. If you were to go to an auto manufacturing plant, you'd be amazed that there's really nothing that's made on site. They're putting things together. So it really is the most efficient way to run a manufacturing plant, quote unquote, is to assemble rather than manufacture.
It was very interesting a few years ago when TRI got the Walmart distribution plant. What it set up was not only a magnet for purveyors to Walmart, but for also the folks who sell TRI, and they're one of our proud sponsors, to go out and say, we've got the Walmart distribution plant. This is a big coup for the governor and EDON to do the same here.
Well, it certainly is, as Nevada continues to grow and evolve, because, I mean, we're not just the gaming state anymore. And as we continue to grow and evolve and to attract some of these high-level businesses, I think it's a boon for the economy.
All right, I want to change topics, something completely different here, which is Senator Reid's remarks to the Asian Business Group, the Asian Chamber of Commerce, back on the 21st of August. I read the initial story. He cracked a couple of jokes. The audience laughed, and they were obviously mostly Asian folks. I laughed, and then within 24 hours, their apologies issued. What is wrong with our country and its sense of humor?
We live in sensitive times driven by political correctness, and so all you need is one particular individual or group's feelings hurt, and then it has this cascading effect.
But it wasn't even the group. The group in the room were laughing. The guy who was the head person who he directed one of the jokes at said, I hear these kind of jokes all the time.
No.
Whatever happened to Don Rickles? He's still around?
Yeah, but he's not on TV much anymore.
No, but when he is, he's still as outrageous as ever. Have we just lost our sense of humor completely?
Well, actually, I think it's a good exercise, and it was funny. And if, you know, I'm sure Senator Reid's intent was not to offend anybody. Somebody said, hey, I'm offended, and so I have a policy, be quick to apologize, especially if you didn't mean to offend somebody. So I don't see it really as that big of a deal. Hey, you know, just kidding. What I fear more is that you lose your ability to talk freely in those types of forums, and that's really where a lot of communication happens, and more that there's iPhones and recording devices. I think politicians, as a rule, really are very closed-lipped anymore anyway.
What does this do for our democracy?
Well, it's terrible. I mean, we don't have an entire show to go into what's wrong with the political system in this country. And this is one of the things that is wrong, is that when statements like this that are obviously, I mean, it was a harmless statement to begin with. Senator Reid is like your old grandfather that just says whatever he wants.
Well, he also has if you know him well enough, and I've been watching him for 30 years, he has a wonderful dry sense of humor.
He does.
And you know, most people don't realize that. And a lot of times he'll come out and say something, he's kidding.
Yeah. Well, and that, like I said, we do not have an entire show to talk about what's wrong with politics in this country.
Okay, Fred, you get the last word on this one.
Well, I think it is evidence that he was very comfortable with this group, probably spoken to it many times before. Obviously, it wasn't intentional, but he follows the new practice, which is if someone's upset, you apologize.
All right, let's change topics here once again. SLS has opened in Las Vegas to huge success. Place was just packed. Just getting the Players Club card, according to Howard Stutz of the Las Vegas Review-Journal, there were just huge lines for that. One of the ways that this project was funded was by EB-5 funding, which is where people who want to get citizenship, or at least start out with a green card and then get citizenship, can bring money into the country. This is very interesting, but for those who are being told to go to the back of a line, interesting juxtaposition.
It's interesting in that the United States has finally caught up to most of the rest of the world. If you look at citizenship requirements or ability to get a visa to enter most countries, you've got to be very educated or have a lot of wealth that you're bringing to the party. What EB-5 really does is, if you have capital, we need capital in this country. If you have capital, we're going to give for every 10 jobs and bring $500,000, we're going to let you in. And I think it's great policy.
Sean?
I agree. I have to agree.
All right, then Fred gets the last word, and you got about 30 seconds.
Well, the Canadians, for instance, have perfected this, starting with the Hong Kong migration. If you visit Vancouver, British Columbia, that's all built on Hong Kong Chinese money. So, yes, countries are wising up, and it's the way immigration works.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if other projects that are currently looking for funding along the Las Vegas Strip have the same kind of financing. Interesting. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this timeout.
There is a lot at stake when you've been seriously injured.
But what happens next is critical. That's why you need expert legal representation.
Let us help you get back on track and fight for the compensation you deserve.
Galloway and Jensen, we fight for you.
Uh-oh. That can't be good, right?
Do you even know what you're doing?
I don't have a clue, actually.
Don't you have a contractor's license?
I have a driver's license. Is that the same thing?
No.
Well, that's why you're getting such a good deal.
A bad contractor isn't always this obvious. Visit the Nevada State Contractors Board website to verify a contractor's license before making your hire.
So is there anything else I can break? Fix?
Protect your home. Protect yourself. Hire only licensed contractors.
When the Fallon Cantaloupe Festival first started, you could buy a new car for $9,000, put a gallon of gas in it for just over $1, and drive it to the movies where your movie ticket cost $2.75. Well, times have changed, but not the Fallon Cantaloupe Festival. It's still the Labor Day choice for family fun and entertainment, with new carnival games, music for everyone, a $1,000 karaoke contest, fresh produce, and oh yeah, cantaloupes. Check us out at FallonCantaloupeFestival.com.
Do your bills continue to multiply? Does it seem as if payday is always weeks away? Well, that's when you need Cashco. It's easy to get the cash you need when you need it. At Cashco, we don't do credit checks, no year-long contracts, and it's okay if you had a prior bankruptcy or just started a new job. Write us a check today, and we'll hold it until payday. You could be getting cash in just 15 minutes and be on your way to better things. We have 2 Northern Nevada locations to serve you. Get money in minutes with Cashco.
There is a lot at stake when you've been seriously injured.
But what happens next is critical. That's why you need expert legal representation.
We've worked for the insurance companies, and we will fight for every dollar you deserve.
Galloway and Jensen, we fight for you.
News 4's Joe Hart, working for you.
Getting answers to the questions you ask the most.
Submit your questions to jhart@mynews4.com. And remember to put Ask Joe in the subject line. Ask Joe, weeknights on News 4 at 6. Follow News 4 on Twitter.
As always, you can watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day at NevadaNewsmakers.com. On the next broadcast, the Congresswoman from Congressional District 1, the safest Democratic district in the state, Dina Titus, will join us. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching and listening.